ask me if I'm ready.
Are you ready?
You've asked me that 4 times.
Yeah.
We've restarted this 3 or 4 times now.
We're back. This is our take number 5. We're really rusty. We've been posting every week.
We got like somewhat more comfortable. Now we're back to rusty.
Yeah,
I
know.
I wouldn't say comfortable.
Now we have to start over and gain our audience again.
Great.
But we were just posting to Truth Social, but now we're back on YouTube. So if you haven't seen us, it's because you didn't follow us to the right place. We've been posting multiple times a week, and you just haven't been following along.
Turns out it's been your fault this entire time.
Yeah, so much has happened since we last recorded. There were fires in LA.
LA burned down.
Yeah, LA burned down. We had friends' houses that burned down.
Didn't you have family property in Palos Verdes?
Palos Verdes, not the Pacific Palisades.
Oh, yeah. I guess, not the Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, some doctors in our hospital. One doctor's house was spared in Palisades. He was in the middle of everything.
Really?
And
his house. It was stucco walls and
I have
clay
no
roof.
idea how his house was spared. And then an ER doctor's house burned down. And then a bunch of other people and Eaton fire and all that stuff.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah. But then
we all have the personal stories of somebody we know.
I know. I can't imagine your house burning down. Like, I get mad when I can't find my charger, like that's gone, and then everything you own is gone.
Yeah. Starting that over again, what do you need first?
Yeah, I know. And then you like have nothing. Although, do you think it's kind of nice? Like you're just starting over?
Yeah, you would.
You're like, let's just burn everything down. Now people give up their cell phone for like
you're such
a month.
You're such a hippie.
They should just burn their house down.
He actually rounds barefoot.
Imagine if I rounded barefoot in the hospital. All right, so where we left off last time, the only thing people wanted to know is what my testosterone was.
Bad.
It was bad.
It came back bad.
No, it came back so I got it tested multiple times. It was like...
XX chromosome.
They're like, you're a woman. They're like, you have no testosterone. I don't even know how you're alive right now. It was like 411, 398, so borderline normal low.
Right.
So they tested everything out. So it was a men's health doctor, Justin Human. I'll take his name out if he doesn't want to be in here, but he's awesome. So they test your FSH and LH as well to see what's going on, and they were low. So my pituitary gland was not telling my balls to
create
make testosterone.
So we found the culprit.
Yeah,
it's been in your head the entire time.
So I was like, oh, I thought is he going to start me on exogenous testosterone and I'm going to inject myself?
Oh
no.
Come on.
He started me
I thought this was going to take a good turn, and now I'm getting
So now
prescribed testosterone.
I'm on enclomiphene. So
tell me about this.
That blocks the negative feedback loop from your balls to your pituitary.
Man,
so it keeps telling your pituitary to produce more testosterone.
That's much.
And I feel great. It's the best thing ever.
Is it giving you more energy?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's like...
Do you have any extras?
It takes a while to start working. You take 25 milligrams every other day. And after a month, you get more energy. Like you're more on it. You're a little more of an asshole. I've always been an asshole.
Yeah.
But now you have no remorse when you're an asshole.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, more energy. It makes me a better doctor, a better dad, better everything.
What tipped you off that you had no testosterone?
I was just tired all the time, taking naps and like...
You have time to take naps?
Oh yeah. I used to take a nap like every day after work.
Really? Just come home and pass out?
Yeah. Well, I go to bed very late, so I need to catch up on sleep. I go to bed at like 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. And I wake up at 7.
Wow.
So I would be very tired. And that's another reason why your testosterone could be low is just bad sleep. But I didn't want to fix that. I just wanted drugs to get it.
That's the best way to do it.
Because that nighttime is like the only me time that I have. Just play on my phone.
Are you still
stuff.
up till 2, 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 2:30 last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you functional when you wake up?
Yeah,
I guess
you're not.
getting used
Now
to
with the testosterone, I don't know what my level is now. I should be getting monthly labs. I haven't been. So I don't know what's going on in my body, but I feel great and I can't wait. So I have to cycle off enclomiphene. This is my last month. You do 6 months every other day, and then you cycle
off.
It's kind of like steroids.
And then
And then I'm going to get everything tested, see where my testosterone's out. But if I start not feeling great again, I'm just going to mainline testosterone into my body at all times.
Yeah.
It's the best. I mean, I'm a better doctor. Like, I have more energy. I'm like more involved in my patients. I'm not
that big of a difference. Huh?
Yeah. And
you were low normal. You weren't even
Yeah.
You're not even like
But
that.
I guess I was showing symptoms, or my testosterone is just really high now, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel like a teenager
You've
again.
got a new high.
Yeah. But yeah, you're like more involved with your patients, and you like, I don't know. You don't have that tired factor, and it makes you more like confident and fearless. So like when you're dealing with that asshole cardiologist you have to consult, that's always mean.
We actually have nice cardiologists at my hospital.
Well, I mean, there's this one guy
who bullies you.
Before he would like bully me and be like, "Why are you calling a consult for that?" I'm like, "Dude, come on,
Are you kidding
man."
me? In private practice, they argue with you?
Oh yeah, he's an old guy. And now when I see him, now that I have more like testosterone, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, old pal, what's going on? You gonna do the cardio version or what?"
Kill him with kindness.
I thought you were gonna start that beta blocker. What's going on?
Sleeping?
Yeah. It's like being on a low dose of cocaine at all times. But I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
But I had coca leaves and Machu Picchu. So it's like you're on top of Machu Picchu, chewing coca leaves. Everything's great. And you just have more energy. And I'm more patient with my kids. Although you do snap sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Once I had a road rage incident.
No, you did not. You did?
Yeah. I was driving my kids to school.
Oh, with the kids in the car.
Yeah. So I had to get in the left-hand lane, and there was a guy coming here, and I needed to get over. And I know he saw me, but he started speeding up.
Yeah,
and
so
I was like, to not let me in. I'm like, I have to make this turn. So I go in, and like he definitely saw me. He didn't slam on his brakes or anything. Then before we got in the left turn, he went around me and got in front of me in the left turn lane.
Yeah,
and he cut me off.
Yeah, all right.
And then I was like,
this is not happening.
I have my kids in my car.
Yeah.
And then I pull up next to him
and let him have it.
And I was like, he said something like, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? I'm like, what do? You got to let me in. I have my fucking kids in my car. And he's like, oh yeah, such a great time. And then I said, I will fucking kill you. And people heard it on the crosswalk and everything. And I have his license plate.
Like as if he did something after you.
No, so I wanted to not take my kids to school and follow him.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Always don't do that.
Yeah, and that's so out of character.
Forever control yourself.
I told my wife, and like, that is so out of character for you.
Yeah, that is out of character for you. I've never heard that from you.
And then if I see him again, I don't know what I'll do. I asked a cop. We have a cop friend. I'm like, I have his license plate. Can you just look this up and let me know where he lives?
Yeah. I promised him something.
He's like, what happened? And I told him the story. He's like, I'm especially not going to give you it anything now because you threatened his life.
Yeah. Definitely not.
But I know he was in a Bronco. I know what his car looks like. And I'm going to find him one of these days.
Oh, geez, Mike.
Yeah.
You're taking too much of this medication. I think you should come off pretty quick.
I don't want it to come off. And I'm hot all the time. And
really?
I don't know.
You're getting hot flashes?
Yeah. My wife's like, lay off the hormones.
That's so good. That's so good.
But I feel like $1 million. It's just 1% of the time it's like you can snap, but then you can come out of it really quick.
But I feel like you having more energy makes you a little bit more patient too, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more difficult to snap, I feel like. I feel like I snap most of the time because I'm just tired. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. That's a different kind of snap. This is like you're on it. You're full of like you're ready to go to war. Yeah. And like you want someone to mess with you.
Oh, great. That's
I know it's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna cycle off of it and see what happens, but I think I'm gonna take exogenous testosterone.
Is that the next step? If this doesn't, kick in your
I mean, it feels like it's working.
normal pituitary function, is that the purpose of this 6 months? And then from that point on, you should just
Yeah.
body should take over. Pituitary should already know
Yeah.
that this is my new level. This is my new work ethic.
He was saying it's like a reset for your pituitary
I see.
to just like
Yeah.
make testosterone
Yeah.
and all this.
This is the level my body wants now. So now
Yeah.
I have to work this hard.
So we'll see, and we'll see what I'll get my labs drawn, and then we'll see what my levels are at.
Are your balls shrinking?
No, they get bigger.
Okay, yeah, right. I
Because
guess,
the
because it's not
there's-
exogenous,
yeah.
right? Because it's I
So
guess you're
and it makes you more fertile.
okay. I see.
So
okay.
this one you can use it to increase sperm production
Correct,
if
I
you're
guess.
having infertility issues.
Because you're using your normal testicular.
Yeah. So that's one of the other side of like you feel fullness down there.
The opposite will happen if you use exogenous.
Yeah, but I don't care if they shrivel up. I feel great. I'm not gonna have any more kids, so
Okay.
we're not gonna use them anymore.
All right.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with the testosterone. If you take testosterone, call in. The phone lines are open. Do we have
But
anyone?
we're not going to tell you, or we won't tell you the phone number though.
No one's calling in yet. But yeah, I recommend it to everyone. Anyway, so what else? What else? We got a new pope, American Pope yesterday.
That's amazing.
That's the only update that we have. Oh, and Donald Trump is president. And he's fighting with everyone for the
He's
tariffs
just-
and everything like that.
fighting with everyone.
Yeah.
He recently was with the Canadian Prime Minister.
He was?
Yeah. Oh my God.
What'd they talk about?
Things.
Yeah.
You should watch that press conference.
Yeah, I will. But more medically related, RFK is doing stuff. He got all the food dyes.
That's his first initiative.
Yeah.
And he's using the actual companies to do so, right?
Yeah.
Less than it being regulations. It's using, kind of getting everybody to voluntarily do it.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, everyone should be healthier, but I think he's cutting funding to like cancer research and stuff, which is like not good.
Not good, no.
But I don't know. I haven't researched it. I don't know what they're cutting or what they're doing. But is America great again or healthier? We don't know. Time will still tell.
Yep.
And he's like, and the measles outbreak in like Texas, he's like, everyone should just get measles. Like, it's not that bad. We're like, no, we're gonna vaccinate.
No. We're gonna vaccinate.
Yeah, and then he's like researching the autism with vaccinations. I think he's doing like an actual study. He wants to make a database of autistic kids, and people are up in arms about that. Like, they don't want their kids in a database.
Yeah,
But
government
I'm like,
database.
how are they going to do research? This is how they do research. They take big data sets and then they see what's going on.
It's just the trust factor.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did you watch Love on the Spectrum?
I think it's I kind of watched some.
Oh man, it's the best.
It really is.
Yeah,
They're the best people.
they executed it
They
perfectly.
found the best people.
I know.
Yeah.
Connor, if you're watching, I'm your biggest fan. He's the man. But yeah, so a database, people are up in arms about that. I don't know. Time will tell with everything.
Yeah, there's nobody can predict what's
Yeah.
going to happen or how long this is going to be.
Well, it's going to be 4 years.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. That much for sure.
Yeah, Trump might be going for a third term, and everyone's mad about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
That'll never happen.
Anyway, anything else medically that happened in the last like 6 months? I just been working. We've had some really sick patients, but our census has been low, and I'm looking for another job.
Really?
Yeah.
To like work in another hospital or?
Yeah, per diem. Kaiser West LA. It's right next to Cedar, so I could round at both hospitals.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Per diem at Kaiser? Why not?
Yeah. Go to the beast. Everyone has their opinions about Kaiser, but
Yeah, but
they pay the best. and they give pensions and everything, not for per diem, but if you do part-time or full-time.
We have nurses that jump ship to Kaiser a lot.
Oh yeah, my wife jumped ship to Kaiser.
There you go.
Way higher pay. I mean, the facilities aren't as nice, the resources aren't as nice, but we'll see. I just sent in letters of recommendation for myself as my friends. No, I told them, I'm like, hey, can I write a letter of recommendation for you? And then all you have to do is email it in. Everyone's like, yeah, sure. And then they read them like, this is a glowing recommendation.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I wrote it with ChatGPT.
Yeah, everybody's using ChatGPT.
Yeah,
for everything.
it's amazing. I
Yeah.
wrote it in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And everything that I'm like,
God, I'm glad we learned how to write before ChatGPT.
oh my God.
It's going to be a very different. I wonder what it's going to look like.
I wish
Our kids.
I wish I had that in college.
Of course, we wish we had it, but I think it would also be a big disservice for us.
I'm such a bad writer to begin with. I was never good at English or anything. And
That's right. It was always the most daunting task, those personal statements. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could do any other part of the application, but the personal statement was
Yeah.
the most difficult. I had an English major friend that I would always use to like kind of, hey,
yeah,
is this in English?
writing
What did I write?
writing essays was the worst for me.
It took me so long.
My sister helped me write all my essays in high school and college and everything.
I guess that was our ChatGPT.
Yeah, someone that knows
Someone else.
English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Back
But
in the day, ChatGPT used to be your closest friends,
yeah,
family.
they wrote letters of recommendation for me, and hopefully we'll see. Have you heard anything about Kaiser? Anyone work there?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily want to badmouth or anything like that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not bad. It's like any other hospital once you're working there.
And yeah, and also that like hearsay, I heard this. I don't have personal experience, so
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's appropriate for me to.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, but my group is freaking out because our census has been low. Where our group is kind of getting pushed out of our hospital by.
Why? Because of your census?
Well, we have a low census, but the other hospitalist
Length of
groups,
stay?
they're like, so we have all these indexes. No,
Yeah.
none of that stuff matters. I'll get into that later. We do value-based incentives where like if your 30-day readmit is low, length of stay, discharge before 11 a.m., you get like money,
Right.
money for all that. But no, these other hospitalist groups, one's the main hospitalist group at our hospital, and they kind of take over like every
They're
group.
picking up the contracts.
Yeah, like so we lost like all the neuro ICU patients that got transferred out. And like we still get ortho, but if they take ortho from us, we're going to have like nothing. So I got to find other jobs and we got to see, but all hands are on deck in our group. Everyone's like, all right, we got to like buckle down and really network and call families, talk to PCPs and everything.
To
and
try to get more contracts. And
yeah. So we're doing that. And it's been good. I love my group. I love the flexibility. We're 1099, so you eat what you kill, supposedly.
Right.
And then, we're going to see where it goes. If it picks up again, I don't know. I still might do per diem at Kaiser.
I mean, it's always okay to like still venture, still have a little more going on. Even if you get credentialed and do a few days a month, it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And that way you always have that safety net. You do have a family.
Yeah. Why don't you come to my hospital? We can hang out every day.
It's too far.
Too far?
It is too far.
I drive an hour there.
God, and you're not even that. You're like closer than me.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you would live closer. Well, you're going to stay. You're happy with your hospital?
I'm happy. We got another contract for another hospital too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got another contract for another hospital. So
how far away is that?
Simi Valley.
Simi Valley.
35 miles from my house.
35 miles?
It's not too bad.
Well,
at the times that I go to work and the times I come home, it's not too bad.
Okay.
It's LA. 35 miles is really way too much because of traffic.
But you're going away from like Simi Valley, like
I'm going against traffic. That's true. Yeah.
I live 14 miles away from my hospital, but it's the 405 and it's always stopped.
Even at 6 a.m., 6:30?
I don't go at 6 a.m.
That's why. That's why. If you would leave at 6:30, I think you would cut your travel times and then.
Oh yeah, I'll get there in like 30 minutes. When I would work nights or something, I would get there in like it would under 30 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, no, I show up
9 o'clock,
9 or 10.
That's really nice.
Because sometimes I have to take my kids to school, and then or if I'm working late, if I'm on call and I got to stay there till 7, I go in late. But I just need to get discharges in before 11, and I know all my patients, and I can do stuff from home if needed.
These are important things when you're choosing your subspecialties, I guess, or your specialty residencies and that sort of thing. What do you want your work-life balance to be?
Exactly.
Every specialty has a different one, generally speaking. Obviously, there's a lot of discretion in between people, or difference between each person in that practice. But cardiologists, by and large, work far longer hours.
Yeah, I know. And it's group dependent. That's why I don't want to leave my group. It's so flexible. Everyone's cool. Everyone's chill. You could pick up shifts, or someone will pick up shifts for you. You could switch.
That's a nice thing. That's a really nice thing to have.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know what what it's going to be like at Kaiser. Like, do I have to be there? Is there a rapid response team? Am I going to have to run code? I haven't ran a code in like forever.
It probably has a rapid response team. It probably does have an ICU team that goes and runs the code.
Good. Because sometimes
more likely than not, they're already there, because most hospitals are, especially I think at that level. It depends on your Kaiser that you're going to, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a smaller Kaiser.
Smaller hospitals, maybe not.
Yeah, I know. But I can't imagine I have to be there the whole time. It would be crazy. Because I'm going to round at 2 hospitals. And I round sometimes at 3 hospitals. I go to CRI, or I shouldn't say the name, but California Rehab Institute. It's a rehab hospital.
Oh, yeah, you do those.
Yeah. And it's a really nice place in Century City. So we round there, and Marina Del Rey.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice
so
places.
I'm all over the place. So you round, do your work, and then go.
That's nice places you're going to too.
Yeah. What would you do critical care
again? Yes, yeah, definitely. I love it.
We were watching TV the other night, me and my wife, and there was a guess. You'll never guess what I would go into if I was going to do it again.
Podiatry.
No. Definitely not podiatry. That's disgusting. I don't know why anyone would want to do podiatry. But
psych.
No. Crazy. I deal half my census is all crazy people, and it's I can't deal with them.
I don't know. What would you go into?
I'd be a fertility doctor. But I wouldn't want to go do OBG.
You would have
obstetrics and gynecology. I know there should be a path where you don't have to do that, and you can do fertility.
Yeah, you don't want to do the whole OB-GYN 5 years.
Yeah, because it didn't even come to my mind. But I mean, me and my wife had fertility, and we went there, and everyone's either really happy or really sad that they can't have a baby. Yeah, and when you get someone to have a baby, it's
the gratification
amazing.
is huge.
Yeah. And they make a shit ton of money.
That's true. And right now, they're especially.
Yeah.
Right now, especially. We're having babies at older ages.
Yeah. But luckily, we didn't have to go through IVF. I mean, we were going to start, and then my wife happened to get pregnant.
But we all know people that have.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people that have.
It's tough. But yeah, I'd go and do that again. But I can't imagine telling my parents, like, getting out of med school, like, they're going to be like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm going to be like, I'm going to be a gynecologist. I'm going to be like, why do you want to be a gynecologist, Michael? Why? You're a creep.
That's funny.
But yeah, so you do critical care all over again? You like the work-life balance?
I like the work-life balance. I enjoy the work. I enjoy, here's the thing. I think anything I would have done in medicine, I would have enjoyed. I kind of do love this field a lot. You can't do this if you don't love it.
Exactly.
It's just too hard. So I think if I was, let's say, a hospitalist, I think I would say the same thing. Oh, I do this again.
Yeah.
I just like it.
But when I think about you, I know you love it, but you're like working all day.
I am.
You're like doing procedures, you're managing, you got to manage the van. You know how it is.
Yeah. It makes the day go by a little quicker too.
Yeah.
I enjoy that part. I don't like too much downtime either at the same time. It drags the day along too slowly.
Well, if you have to be there.
Yeah, correct. Right.
So,
right. Where you can leave.
So I feel like compared to you, I'm like a thinking doctor. Like if I want something done, I order it and then it gets done. If he needs a central line or something, needs to go to the ICU, everything's like done for me. So I'm like sitting there thinking. I'm not like physically doing anything, which I can't imagine.
That's like nephrology. Nephrology is a good field for like thinking doctors.
ID. That's the easiest. Yeah. I mean, there's only so many antibiotics and so many infections.
But they're consulted all the time. They're always busy too.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. But the answer is always give antibiotics. And you just pick
wait
which
for
one.
Cultures.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that will do the rest.
Yeah, that's the easiest one.
That's true.
If you want something easy, go into ID. I don't know what would be easier.
Outpatient stuff, maybe.
Outpatient's a nightmare.
I guess, for the
you have
bureaucracy
patients,
part of it.
Yeah, you have patients calling you, emailing you. They have access to you at all times. That's right, they come in with the most random things. They're like, my toe has been hurting for 6 months. Yeah. And you're like, what do you want me to do about that? It's get an x-ray.
Well, your customer service, that's outpatient is more of a customer service part of medicine.
God bless them.
Yeah, I'm sure we need them.
I'm still thinking.
We need good outpatient doctors. More and more, it's the burnout is high. And so
it is.
You see less and less, good doctors becoming outpatient physicians, and we're sticking them in the hospital and less are outpatient.
Yeah, I know. And you get dumped on. I mean, they discharge them from the emergency room and they
follow up on everything.
Follow up with your PCP, and then they don't get an appointment for like a couple weeks. And
it's hard to find an appointment for PCPs now.
Yeah, I know. I still might do it because I would like to have my own business and practice.
Yeah, I think the compensations will go up too. I think over time, the insurance companies are going to realize that it's better to have good follow-up outpatients.
Yeah,
to prevent those high hospital.
Yeah, but we had this conversation before. I don't know if it's for me. I go back and forth. I do have an opportunity to take over someone's practice.
That's not a bad way to start.
Yeah.
I think that would be better for you than trying to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Just pick up a practice.
Yeah. So this girl, you've met her. She took over a retiring doctor's practice at Marina Del Rey.
Okay.
And she doesn't really like it. She's like, I don't really want to do this. If you want it, you can have it. But switching the doctor so many times, you're going to lose patience. You're going to. But the guy before her was making, he said, 7 figures a year.
Whoa.
And he said 20% in the hospital, 30% in skilled nursing facilities.
Wow.
And then LTAC. So he rounds to all these places, and that's where he gets most of his money. And he built this. And he has a clinic day like 2 or 3 times a week for a half day.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm going to give it up. If you want it, you can have it. But
she's obviously not making the 7 figures he was.
No, her biller says she's on track for like, I don't know if I should give the number, but like high 6 figures.
Well, that's not bad. Why not?
Like over the other end of 6 figures.
If this doesn't work out for you, if you lose the ortho contract,
you
may want to look more seriously into it.
Yeah.
You might enjoy it, honestly. I find you to be the person that, will enjoy those sort of outpatient rehab. It wouldn't bother you. You would be comfortable going.
Yeah.
Especially with this new testosterone level.
I know. It's because I am a people person. I think that's my strong suit in the hospital. I think you would do well. Yeah. Like your conversations with people, that's sort of things, sometimes, people exhaust people, but it doesn't exhaust you. I think you would do well. Yeah. I like learning about people, like what they did for a living, and especially where I work. I ask that stuff too. I always ask that. We have a lot of interesting people that were in the movie industry. Like I had an Academy Award winner, like producer, like no one you ever heard of, but he made such an amazing movie in the 70s, and like
very interesting life stories people have.
I asked him all about it. He like took the time to tell me about crazy stories about this movie and everything like that. And I think that does help with patient care, like relating with them, and they trust you and getting to them on a personal level. So I think I would like that in the outpatient setting as well.
I think that is your strength for sure. I think that's why you can do very well outpatient in that kind of a, you know, private practice. I think you would do well.
Yeah.
Not a bad position for you to like move towards.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. She said she's going to.
Better than Kaiser, I think.
Yeah. Kaiser's just to get a little extra money while the census is low. But as a career, I think it'll be a good move. But we'll see. I don't know if it'll be feasible. She's going to leave. She's like, this is not for me. She wants to do more like wellness, like vitamins, NAD, infusions, all that stuff. Which she's like, no, now I'm just managing sick patients and sniffs and LTACs and everything like that.
Yeah, see, I don't think that NAD infusions and stuff would be interesting for me. So everybody's different. That's why it's great to have such diversity in medicine.
I thought we were going to start a med spa.
We can still do it.
Yeah.
We can still do it.
With ketamine. Everyone gets a free intranasal ketamine when they sign up. Yeah. Do you use ketamine in the hospital?
For sedation, sometimes.
We use it all the time for pain. It's like our pain team, they love ketamine infusions.
Yeah, I'm finding pain specialists using it more and more.
Yeah, because when you don't want them to be on opiates, like say they have an SBO, small bowel obstruction for those that don't know, and you want to avoid opiates because it's constipating, where they get ketamine, and then anytime you don't want, if they're addicted to opiates, anything.
Right, it's a nice.
So, but they always say they don't feel it. I'm like, let's turn it up and see what happens. But the pain team manages it.
Yeah,
they titrate it.
That's better.
Yeah, but yeah. All my scores in the hospital, like everything they measure has been good because I think I'm personable and like people.
Definitely as a hospitalist, especially.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's the most important thing as a hospitalist is to be personable and have interpersonal relationship with your patients. I mean, what else are you but, you know, a patient's doctor?
Yeah, I know.
As a hospitalist, at least.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of subspecialties are proceduralists, surgeons, and that sort of thing, where you're kind of like tourists in people's lives, but not as a hospitalist. I think you have a little more continuity, especially outpatient.
Yeah. I think the way to go is outpatient, especially with my testosterone so high. I'm going to be more personable.
Well, you also see patients, you'll discharge them and they'll come back and you'll
Oh, I see the same patients all the time.
That's what I mean. So you do actually have more continuity than just a hospital like admission.
Yeah. See? But all my value-based incentive scores are better because I'm like more on top of it.
There you go.
One of them is just getting the discharge order in before 11 a.m.
11 a.m. is the number? Is the time? Wow.
All you have to do is put in the order. They don't have to leave or anything.
No, I know.
And you get like $8,000 for that.
Really?
Yeah. So the most you can make is like $48,000 if you hit everything, like length of stay index.
Right.
30-day readmit, doing the pulse,
right.
all that stuff. And we're on track to get it. So it's a nice little bump and they just started it 2 years ago and everyone in the hospital loves it. But
interesting.
Having more energy, I'm like more on top of it. Now if a patient, I used to be so nice.
Try to hit those numbers.
Like if a patient wants to stay another, he's like, I just feel like staying another day. Before I'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't care.
Now it's like, no, you gotta go.
Now I'm like, no, it's time to go. What are we going to do here?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think people do better at home than sitting in a hospital for an extra day or two.
But the people, they're lonely or they like being in the hospital.
Sometimes it's patients' families too. Sometimes it's like kids that are like, hey, I really don't have the time to take care of them the next few days or try to get this stuff set up. Give me another day to kind of get myself organized. I have to take care of my mom at home here. Exactly. I'm not ready for that tomorrow or this afternoon.
We're like, well, we can send you to a skilled nursing facility for one day.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still chill. I could always justify them staying another day. I'm like, oh, you're feeling a little dizzy? Yeah, unsteady on your feet? Okay. You'll stay another day.
There you go.
And what's interesting, everything in the hospital are day intervals. So like you round on a patient. I thought about this the other day. You round on a patient and then you get all the consultants' recommendations and then you put them in.
Yeah.
And then everything pauses for a day. Nothing will happen like later in the day. You have to go another 24 hours until everyone gives recommendations and sees. I feel like there's a better way to like, I mean, you can be more on top of it and do a late discharge and be like, if everything's okay and change medications around that night or something like that. But it doesn't work that way. I always thought that was interesting. Yeah.
You're onto something.
I know. But critical care is more dynamic.
Yeah, it's different. That's for sure. My wife is a hospitalist too, so I see the differences between her and I. It's significant.
Yeah,
significant.
Is she working full time now?
No, she's still part time.
Oh, good, good.
Is it somewhat part time? She's picking up more shifts than part time now, so she's like in between part time and full time.
Yeah. Oh man, I love being a hospitalist. Are you the only one in the ICU when you're there?
No, 2 of us during the day and 1 at night. So it's always a physician.
How often do you work nights?
More now. I think I'm gonna pick up more night shifts now that we have the second hospital too, because now we're picking up more days as well, because we're covering that ICU as well. Our group.
Yeah. Do you like nights better than days?
No. The job itself is much easier at night. It's better at night, but
it is.
It's just the toll it takes on my body, and it's also like your family life, and it's lonely.
I know it is lonely. The only time I worked nights in the ICU was in residency as a senior resident.
I also can't sleep at night, so when I'm on night, I'm up. It's not like some physicians that come at night will just sleep for at least 3-4 hours minimum.
Yeah, I would sleep like at 2 or 3 a.m. and then the nurses start texting when labs come out at like 5.
Yeah, exactly.
6.
Yeah, it is.
And it's terrible. But that's the time I felt like a real doctor. Like I think I mentioned this before, that I made it as senior in the ICU and then keeping all the patients alive.
Yeah.
And then
the night,
reporting in the morning and saying, here's what happened. And like, nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
And not calling the attending every 5 minutes and everything like that.
Yeah. That's a good measure of what you know.
Yeah.
It means you've gotten good.
I know. Okay, so you'll stick to critical care. I was going to have you come outpatient with me.
I'll come with you outpatient too. I'll do both.
Yeah, let's just hang out every day.
Yeah.
Get lunch.
Let's do it. I'm down. That sounds like a good option for us.
Yeah, but
it's all over here though.
Yeah. No, we could open something in between us, or because we live so far. We're in the same city, but we live so far away from each other.
I would love to have a practice with you. That would be a lot of fun.
Make
you do everything.
Yeah. You're going to make me do everything. But yeah, so we'll see what happens if this colleague of mine doesn't want this practice. Hopefully we don't lose a lot of patients, and then we take it over.
All right. Next time we'll find out if Mike
Next
is broke
time
or
we'll
not.
find out
if Mike is losing his house.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing worked out. None of it was good.
Yeah. I'll still work as a hospitalist.
said no. She's keeping her practice, and we have no more contracts.
So my wife is like, we just need to move to Texas or something. We're going to be rich.
It'd be, yeah. It would be a much simpler
I know.
existence. LA is very expensive.
Yeah. We look at houses in Texas, the same price as this house, mansion. Pool, waterfalls, 1 acre of land, like anything you want.
Wow.
But my whole family's here.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Maybe when my parents move on, I'll consider moving somewhere else. But
no, don't do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too, man.
Yeah, you can move with us. We could live in one house.
Our families would
we'll
love
just get
that.
a huge house.
Yeah, we're just getting so big that we can't even find each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. We never did the intro, but we'll do the outro.
Do the outro.
I think it is this one.
Off call.
Oh. How do I start it over?
Show or medicine.
Jesus.
We're getting good at this. All right, make us look professional. We've lost them. We lost them way a long time ago.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, nobody's listening by this point.
Yeah.
This is just you and I now.
Well, okay. Email us at offcallpod@gmail.com. Visit our YouTube channel, Offcall. What else? Write us, comment.
Give us suggestions of what to talk about. That would be fun.
Yeah, like and subscribe. What do people say on YouTube?
Follow.
Yeah, follow us on also. I think our social media is offcallpod on Instagram.
Okay.
I think it'll work now. Let's see.
This has been Off Call, the show where medicine gets real,
All right.
raw, and funny. Dr. Mike, a hospitalist with a knack for